What's up, summoners? King Blair here. Today we have a very serious discussion. So this is the Epic 7 developers notes, and this is something that has been coming up, and a lot of people are scared because the fact that they're gonna do nerfs. And for you guys that didn't play at the time, nerfs sucked when they did them. They did a really good system where you can actually give back the unit, but you can't unsummon a unit and all the time you spend and all the gold for specific equips and things like that. You can't really get that back, even though they give you all this stuff. It's kind of hard. They really do try, but it's hard for that. But we're gonna be talking about who can potentially be getting nerfed or rebalanced. So here we have the part where it's new arena, we're gonna be rebalancing heroes within Epic 7 and see which ones, the overpowered ones, that have no counters. So they're not targeting for PvE, which is they shouldn't, but indirectly a lot of the units that we're gonna talk about today are also good in PvE. I think okay, it was kind of loud. So this is really big, and it's really scary, and we're gonna talk about it. Who can actually get nerfed? Who are the potential candidates that can be nerfed? So one thing I do want to do, it's real quick. One of the best ways is literally just to look at people's defenses, and it's a really hard thing, and I can't believe that they're actually gonna nerf units. Because overall the game's pretty decently balanced, but there's definitely units that are starting to stand out. So, that's my battle log. So here's the league ranking. So they said units that do not have a counter to, and that are being used very heavily. Oh man, so there's very good contenders for that. And literally just looking at the top players, you can start seeing a pattern. So that's just in my league. This is the total. But just literally looking at the top list, you can start kind of seeing okay, these are the units that are actually just absolutely destroying everything. So who are they? Who are these units that are destroying everything? So the most likely units that will get nerfed will actually be Diene. I really do think Diene is going to get the nerf hammer. Assassin Cartuja, Ruele Light. I'm surprised they're nerfing all these characters, but they also introduced ML Arminthia, and I'm she's literally going to break the meta. Crimson Armin, which I'm actually very scared for. And last but not least, the one that I feel is very controversial, also with the other ones, Falconeer Kluri. Those are the ones that I believe are the most likely to get the nerf hammer, because they are very oppressive. They are very widely used. If you go down here, you can see 90% of teams have a F Kluri, a Challenger Dominion, not Challenger Dominion, Crimson Armin, Diene, Ruele Light, and you see it all over. And Falconeer Kluri for lower tiers, Falconeer Kluri is huge. If I just look at my opponents, I'm gonna see at least one or two people with Falconeer Kluri. I don't think they will nerf the offensive options, because if they did, Bellana might be in there, and she's a potential candidate. But I don't. Bellana's not really yes, she's annoying, and she might be a target, so I can't say for sure. But there's those are the units. So let's just go one by one and talk about the ones that I believe might get it. This is a really messed up top 5, because I don't want this to be a top 5. This shouldn't be a top 5. This is just the ones, my opinion, and it's gonna be really hard for them to do this, and I really hope they do it properly. So let's just start right off with the first. Let's just look down to see if we can find the ones. So in here, everyone's pretty safe. Star Genealogy, they're all pretty safe. They might buff some units too, which I have zero idea who they can buff. That's just who they want to push the meta for. But I'm gonna talk a little bit of who I hope, not specific units, but what I hope that they do buff. So first one, and the one that I feel is gonna be the most controversial, is gonna be Diene. So Diene, even though she does have counters, don't get me wrong, I hate going against her in arena offense, going against any Diene, and I hate Diene as a unit. She makes the game very stale, and if you have a Diene, you're probably using her everywhere. But at the same time, she's an event exclusive unit, but it's an event exclusive unit that's been out that was a long time ago. So people got the use out of her. So even if she got nerfed, the people that complain that are like, oh, she was an event exclusive, I like paid to get her. Like, yes, but that was like 2 months ago. And I get that she's a good unit, but I do think she's most like a huge candidate to get the nerf, even though she's event exclusive. And it does send a predecessor for new event exclusive that at least those units got a long time before they were hit with the nerf hammer, which would be like 2-3 months. So even if you like, if they do get nerfed in the future, you still got a lot of use out of them, especially because you can't summon them with other ways. So I really do think she's gonna get nerfed. You literally can just look through your list, and you all know, you all have been there, going against Diene over and over again. They've made a lot of counters to her, like Falconeer Kluri, which is another unit that is probably gonna get nerfed. Kisei, other units, but like, they shouldn't have to introduce all these units just to counter one unit, if that makes any sense. Like, instead of introducing new units to the game, why not just nerf Diene in the first place? And I think they've been holding off on that because she's an event exclusive. So how do I see them nerfing her? To be honest, I really just think this skill does too much. The Saint's Prayer. If you took off the increases caster's combat readiness, like if you just took that away from her, she's really not that scary. Like on all her skills. Like if you took off like her gaining, like her passive can keep it, because it's like, it's her passive, it's whatever. But her third skill, if they took off that caster combat readiness, I honestly think Diene would be a much more balanced character, because people like would have to build her really insane. That's the one, this is the one skill that I could see them nerfing, and I hope like everything else is not bad. Like the barrier, it's like, yeah, it's annoying, but everyone has barriers, and it's like, it's a good defensive mechanic. What makes her really good is the fact that she can get these two buffs back to back if they're really well run Diene. So I think that's what they will nerf. Besides that, they also might nerf cooldowns, but I don't think they'll like take anything off. Most likely they'll just do cooldowns, to be very honest. But cooldowns wouldn't do that much. It'll just do like for long fights. But I feel like the big hit and the like good hit that a lot of people like, she'd still be really good unit, but it takes off that edge in arena, which is what they're focusing on. Because that edge in arena is this is what gives her that edge, that combat readiness. If she doesn't have that, she's not nearly as strong. So that's why I think they might nerf, and that they should nerf if they do decide to go with her. But that's just my food for thought on her specifically, because she's the most likely to, because she really has dominated arena defense. But, you know, people are like, oh, they're going to gut them, because they did gut. Last time like I used to play when Elson was a thing and Thierry was a thing, and they gutted them. Like, they're out of the game. Rickers, they gave him that specialty change, but it's still like, Elson and Thierry got gutted. I don't think they're going to do that this time. I think they're just going to do tweaks, because they're not trying to kill the unit off completely. They're just trying to take off their edge in PvP, and I hope like that's what they're doing. I really hope that they don't gut any character, because that's just like really upsetting, you know, whenever they gut a character. It's like, I don't know, I feel like it's wrong, and they should just do minor tweaks, and that would be like what they should do with Diene. And if they do, again, I'm not an expert, I don't know. Let's see, who was the other one I mentioned? Angelica. Okay, a lot of people have been saying that they're gonna nerf Angelica, and I'm gonna say it first. I don't think she's gonna get nerfed, and I don't think she should get nerfed, for two reasons. One, she's not doing anything PvP. Like, yes, in Guild Wars, some people do have her, and she's kind of tilting to go against, but it's like, she doesn't have anything overbearing. Like, there's units that can easily kill her. She has counterplay. There's a lot of counterplay for her. She doesn't even see that much play. And it's like, she's only a PvE unit, and yes, it does stale the game a little bit, that you kind of do have to have Angelica. But it's like, okay, they can't expect, like, it's always nice to have one unit that can do everything, you know? And she's a 4-star, so she's very obtainable. So I don't think they should nerf her. If anything, unpopular opinion, I feel like they should promote her and make her some form of reward so players can actually get her. But I don't think they'll nerf her. If they nerf her, that'd be so wrong on so many levels. They would make Wyvern B11 impossible for a lot of new players, and it would mostly hurt new players than old players, because old players already have different things that they can use. New players are banking on getting that Angelica to carry them through the game, and I don't think they should nerf her, and I don't think they will, because they look like in the patch notes that you saw, they look like they were focusing on PvP. and she's not good in PvP. So I don't think she'll get nerfed personally. That's just my opinion. If you guys think she will, let me know. Like, if y'all have lost to Arena Angelica like a lot, I'd be very surprised if y'all have. I don't think she's good in PvP, and they don't seem to be targeting that. And I feel like if they nerf Angelica, so many people would have backlash. No one's complaining about Angelica. Like, she does a lot, but no one, people that are complaining about her is because they don't have her. And it's like, or they never built her. So it's like, I don't think she should get nerfed. I think they should promote her as something that everyone can get. So let's keep going down the list. All right, this is the biggest one. I see her right there. So I'm gonna keep going down. This is the one that got hella gutted. But I see Kluri there. I'm gonna wait till I get to the Falconeer specialty one. Thierry used to be an actual unit. Now people are like, who the hell is that? She used to be one of the most busted units in this game. Curious again. I don't think they'll nerf. Yeah, it's very cheesy, but it's a big commitment unit. Like, you have to have very specific teams with her to actually make her work. And again, she's not PvP. They look like they were really wanting to focus on PvP. So I don't think they'll nerf Curious. I think they'll keep her the same. They'll keep her fine. I don't think they should hit her at all. And if they do, again, that's something else that I'm like, why are you messing? Like, PvE is like such a small part of the game. And it's also a very hard part of the game. Why make it harder kind of thing? So I don't think they're going to make it harder. I keep looking and it's like, those two are the big ones. Diene and Falconeer Kluri, those are the two that I really do think that they're going to hit. And there's going to be some ML ones too that it's like, it's going to be rough, man. Like, it's tough. Let me keep looking. So they're not in here. Lena did that. Okay, so Bellana, she might get a nerf. And there's a reason why. It's because she's one of the most popular go-to arena offense setters. And it kind of makes it like, it is very like, all teams are kind of centered. Like, she's kind of like, it's like, you know how there's combat readiness? Like, you need to have that one unit. You also need to have that one debuffer. She has taken that spot pretty easily. And she's everywhere for arena offenses. Most people are using Bellana. And there's a small chance she'll get nerfed. I really hope she doesn't. If they do, they wouldn't really hurt her PvE as much, because what they would probably do is make the skill more inconsistent. That's all they really need to do, like take off this 100% defense break. But I don't think they will. There is a small chance that they might, because she's so good for arena offense. But I really don't think so. There's like, she's good overall, but again, she might, because she's a really good offensive PvP unit. That is a very cookie cutter type unit, that very necessary, but they might not. Low-key, I really hope they buff Cecilia. If we're talking about somebody nerfs, we should talk about buff CC. She just needs a higher skill 1 defense break and she's golden. But we'll keep going. Here is fine. Violet is annoying, but he's not the problem. We're gonna get to him in a second. So Moonlight, this is where a lot of potential nerfs are gonna be coming, and the part that's like gonna be really scary. Shadow Rose, I think, is a good candidate and a very likely candidate for getting nerfed, because she is kind of like, they say, like, doesn't have counterplay. She's one of those units that's kind of doesn't, you can't really counterplay her as much, because she kind of does everything. As of right now, she's the best combat readiness booster, even though she doesn't have the fastest base speed. So Ruset is more for like assuring first turn. Shadow Rose, it's like, if you have a really good Shadow Rose, it's game over, man. Because it's like, she sets the other team back, and she buffs their own team. And that just makes her so versatile. She also has like decreased defense, stripping buffs. The first kill is whatever, but like, people do build her in a way that she will, like, I think they put the artifact that makes her counterattack when one of your allies gets hit. And it makes it so it's like, you know, it makes it a lot harder for that. Like, she's one of the best combat readiness units. And if they're talking about nerfs, she's a very good candidate for that, because she has taken that role as being the best. The reason why I really hope that they don't nerf a lot of Moonlight is because Moonlight are meant to be OP. Moonlight units should be overwhelming. But again, if it gets to a point where they're too overwhelming, is Shadow Rose at that point? She's getting close to it because she does so much. If they wanted to hit her, they can either take off the increase, like reduce these numbers and make it so it's like 15 and 15. Or or they could honestly hit her stats even a little bit more, because right now she still has that one, like it's very low speed, but if they hit it like 3 or 4 speed, then she really is like, there's no reason, like she's not as good. But she still has, she's more like a secondary combat readiness rather than your main. So that's a hit that I could see them doing it. I really hope that they don't. I hope that they don't hit, like again, all these units are like, I really hope that they don't hit them. So she's one of them that most, like, that's a really good chance of getting hurt. The other one is Crimson Armin, and man, God, dude, I really hope that they don't, because I use my Crimson Armin everywhere. PvP not as much, because I have more of a PvE build, but I see why she's a contender for getting nerfed. So why is she a contender? Okay, so one, this third skill is very oppressive. It's kind of like you either have a unit that can strip AoE strip buffs, which there is a couple that do strip buffs, but they're like they're far in between. There's only like, I think, Ball and Cesar and then Roman. Everyone else is single target, and she does invincibility and immunity. So it's like, even if you have one that takes off one, you might not take off the other. If she gets the turn, man, it's like you're not attacking anymore. You are most likely going to lose that battle. Like if they have, even if they build her a little bit faster, even though she has terrible base speed, she can still, like, so easily, if she gets a turn, it's so oppressive. At Guild Wars, I use a team with her, Shadow Rose, and then whatever damage dealer you want, and you can't do much against that. If you don't have any unit that's faster than her, you're gonna lose. And even if you don't, people build, like I build it with immunity. So even if you're not unable to kill everyone, she's gonna be able to protect them all and assure that they get another turn right after. Because people always make her go last in their rotation. So if you're able to stun the whole team, but you don't stun her, they're gonna get an extra turn right after. She is very oppressive. It's gonna be a hard one to like hit, and she also provides that like reduce critical hit. Like this is so nice because so many units crit, so she just provides so much, and you put Oreos on her and she's just making your team so tanky. So I can also see them nerfing this unit, and I hope that they don't, because I'm a big I'm a big Crimson Armin person. I love my Crimson Armin, but I definitely see her getting hit because she can be very good in PvP. Like way too good. And she also has like that provoke, which is like, why does she have that? I don't know, but she also has that. The other unit, the last one for the light and dark, people are saying Will of Light. I have to disagree. Yes, she's oppressive. Yes, she's tilting as hell to go against, but she's a light and dark 5-star, and she already like was garbage when she came out, and she's still only single target. That's the thing that people don't realize. And she does have counterplay. You can just pop her and she's done. You know, I think she's very unique. While she is very good and really annoying, I hope that they don't hit her. But if they do, they're probably going to take off this invincibility. Like, I could see them just doing that. But then it's like, she's not as good anymore. So I really do hope that they don't hit her. But she's one that most likely has a possibility of getting hit. So I said the last one, but the actual last one is Assassin Cartuja. The reason why is because Assassin Cartuja actually has no counterplay. Like, you can't take like combat readiness hits. You can't not start missing, you know? So 15% is a lot. And having like someone that, and always guaranteed on him, that's honestly the only thing they need to take off. This skill is fine, but what makes it OP is that he'll always dodge his first one. See? Successfully evades the next attack once. Like, it makes it so like your whole team is protected, but he's super protected. And it's to a point where you can't really counterplay around him. Like, there's a lot of units that like you can one-shot, and they're starting to introduce more one-shot units. So like, we talked about, I forgot her name, the Sea Girl, the current unit event, like the fire sword that one-shots, ignores defense. They're starting to introduce units like that to counter units like this. But you can't counter units like this if you're going to miss guaranteed the first time. Like, that's just really hard to deal with for a lot of people and a lot of teams. So that's why I think they might, out of all the units we talked about, Diene, Falconeer Kluri, and Assassin Cartuja are the big three that are most likely gonna face nerfs because of how like good they are at what they do and how little counterplay there are. And last, I haven't talked about her. I glossed over her, but Falconeer Kluri, man. God, dude, this unit is like one of the best units in the game, if not the best unit in the game. Like, she's risen to that rank in PvP and PvE. But the thing about it, why I really hope that they don't nerf her. I don't have one, and I probably will never finish mine because I'm so lazy. But I really, really hope that they don't hit her. Even though, and if they do, man, I hope that they do a really good job because she's the PvE, so good for PvE, and it's like a free unit. It's like if they hit her, so many free-to-play people are gonna quit because she is the unit that has like carried them. She's one of the best units in the game. You have to put so much time commitment into her. She's supposed to be strong, but she has become a problem in PvP. So it's like I really hope that if they nerf her PvP, they try really hard or compensate for PvE. You know, because like she's a really good unit for free-to-play players, even for PvP. You should be using your Falconeer Kluri. And there are a lot of things they could do to nerf her, but it's like, she's a free unit, man. So everyone has access to her, but she is super oppressive because this just counters so many teams. 100% chance to just go in. So it's not even 100, it's actually 85. I didn't know that. So it's not, oh no, it is 100. So it's 100% chance to like, strip all buffs and then do this. So what I think they should do is take off, like for, oh man, this is rough. But for PvP, it would hurt her PvE too. But for PvP for sure, take off the stripping the buffs. That's it. If you can take off that, Falconeer Kluri is not nearly as good for PvP because now she has a counter. Because now it's like you can just go in with an immunity team and you're fine. And then you don't have to worry about Falconeer Kluri coming in and 100% sure taking one of your units out of the game. You know, out of the fight. So that's how I think they should hit her. And that's what I think they should hit, is that removing the buff. All the other skills are honestly not super crazy. It's that third skill that makes her so good that she's just able to take out any unit. And she should keep that to an extent. That or make her more inconsistent with the remove debuff. But that's the one place I think they should hit if they're gonna hit. But that's my thoughts on this new nerf list that they're thinking of doing for coming out. When they do release it, we'll talk an in-depth discussion about it. How will it affect anything? Will it actually affect anything? You know, I don't know. It's rough. I really don't think they'll hit Angelica. Too many people would be upset if they hit Angelica. I think Angelica will be safe. She'll be chilling. But all these other units we discussed, they are very likely candidates for getting that nerf. But at the end of the day, guys, they did say that making 6-stars would be easier. So I do hope that's the case because I have so many units I want a 6-star and build up, and they make it really, really hard. So we'll see what they do. I hope they don't mess up, and I hope that they're fair and try not to hurt the PvE too much. But that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.